Go ahead.
Hello everyone. So we have made a lot of changes in the backend. Mostly James was the main person who did this over like past 2 weeks. So now we're using E2B persistence uh, to store all of our projects, and we have also eliminated using Cloudflare for our Postgres database. Instead, we are just hosting our database on an EC2 instance on AWS. Um, so yeah, so that was a major change in the backend, and now we'll just have to. And also, we are also working on GitHub integration as well. So we are just discussing how the backend change will merge with the front end change when we integrate the GitHub integration and everything on it.
Yeah, so let me show the README how it is now. And this is now merged to main. So now you only need clerk and E to B in order to run it. Everything about like at least half of the README used to be about Cloudflare, running the workers, setting up the D1, the R2, all of that. So that's gone and replaced with this. Just create a new Postgres database, however you want to do that. It could be, we're doing it now on AWS, but you can do this exact same thing locally. And then once you get the credentials, you just put it in the .env and everything else works the same. Except you don't need to deploy any workers
Yeah.
because it's all part of the same code base. Yeah, that's it.
And now also we have deleted a lot of things from the backend as well. We don't have database folder, we don't have a storage folder, we just have a server, and everything is managed in the server from schema to everything else, drizzle ORM. Okay, so now Victor, if you can go ahead and see, let's see what where you guys are at with GitHub integration.
Victor?
All right. Awesome work, guys. Very excited about this change. So can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Hello.
Yeah, hello?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I can hear you. I can
You
hear
want to
you.
share something?
Sorry.
Yeah.
My
It's just you have a poor
network
connection, but we can hear you fine.
was buffering for a moment there. I want to share my screen now.
Yeah.
All right. Cool. So let's. Okay. So here's what I think that we had
We don't see it
into the
yet.
user database. So I
Oh,
ran
here it
into a
is.
bit of issue. Okay.
Got it.
Oh, cool. All right. So I'm working on persisting the access tokens into the database.
Mm-hmm.
So ran into a little bit of issue initially because I was storing the wrong code in the database and trying to use it. So at the first instance, I was storing the code I got from the auth when you like go through the browser. And I was storing that in the database. I kept on watching why it wasn't working,
Uh-huh.
right? But finally figured it out. So getting the access token, I'm storing
Oh.
them in the database. So every time they get the new user, they're stored in database the user object.
So OAuth returns
I was working on.
you use that token to
Okay.
get another token?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. So use the code from the auth to get the access token,
Got
and
it.
the access token that is persisted to the database.
And that one lasts for a while, right?
Yeah. As long I don't know. I think it lasts as long as possible. So either the user revokes it or we revoke it.
Okay, so it's
Mm-hmm.
So it's persisted right now to the database. Was working on trying to like make sure it's encrypted, but I needed to be the help with that because I didn't want it to be easy for
okay.
anybody to access it because right now it's just stored in database and anybody will be able to access it. I was working on the encryption and decryption, but couldn't quite figure out some of the parts.
Okay.
Hopefully, I'll get that done and push everything out.
Yes.
So you can now get user data. All right, go ahead.
Uh, Feel free to store it in plain text if you can figure it out. We'll definitely not merge anything into main until it's secure. So we can also
All
do it
right,
at the end if you want. Yeah.
okay. So currently it's just storing as plain text. So it stores the token as plain text, and when I try to get the user, it gets the user object, extracts token, then makes the request to get the user details. So it's basically plain text currently. So added this, notice that we're using sockets for the connection to the database. So I try to create like an easier like abstraction on top of that to make it very easy for us to work with getting the user data and also making like some mutation. So I'm using React Query to do that and really made the code a lot simpler. So right now, the code for the sidebar, well, still working on it. Let me just come, just give me a second. Sorry, I don't know why I deleted this. Uh, I'll just hide that for now. Alright, so basically all you need to do is to get user data is called the hook. You get user data to log in. You use this simple hook to add the GitHub login. Then you have the loading state, whether it loads or not, and you can add like your success or failure state over here also. And those works. And currently the way it looks like right now is this. I'm going to share that in a bit. I'll share something else.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Struggling to find the tab. Sorry.
So that hook that you're talking about, the use query,
Mm-hmm.
that uses
Yeah.
the access. Wait, this is on the front end or that's on the front end?
Yeah, it's on the front end.
Right.
So, come on. Okay. All right. So tell me if you can see my screen now. I think you can see
Yeah, we
it.
can.
Yeah.
All right. So I can just go ahead and try and reloading the website, and you'll see that all of them are persisted.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. So now you could just view the drop down. Currently, it's okay. Come in.
Mm-hmm.
So you could connect to GitHub.
Uh-huh.
Oh, you can't see the full. Oh, I should
It's
have
okay.
shared the whole
I know what it
tab.
looks like.
Sorry. Yeah, so it shows the pop-up
I know what it
and
looks like.
then you should be able to see the user object. Interestingly, that doesn't
Okay,
come.
so it didn't update this time, but it should update.
Yeah, it should update you exactly.
Okay.
Let me check it one more time. No? For
Yeah.
some reason, it's not updated anymore.
What's
I
the
don't
difference
know.
between the login and the connect to GitHub?
Yeah, the connect to GitHub is still the login, We're gonna need to do that once now. What
Okay.
before you have to do it every single time you come to the page. Um, this was just like instead of this, like when you logged in, you would see your user object and have an option to like log out.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
That was meant to be here. So when
Okay.
you
okay,
don't have when you're not logged in, I decided the login button.
Okay.
okay.
So when you like logged in, what you will see next is the button to like commit to sync to GitHub first and then to commit. But there's only one issue I've been facing, and the issue is trying to attach um a the GitHub repository to the sandbox because there's no way I can know if there's already a GitHub repository in the name of this already by the user. So I'm thinking of I don't know what you guys think about it because that's the only way I can make sure I don't create multiple GitHub repositories
Oh, okay.
on the user side.
I have talked to Omar about this, and I think
Okay.
I've been a little bit confused at times what we're supposed to do. I mean, sorry, what we are actually doing. But um, you don't need to check the name of the repository, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, so wait, so let me just ask something first. Are we talking about creating a new
Okay.
repository, or are we talking about loading an existing repository? The first one, right?
Yeah. So the first time you try to sync, you have to create a repository initially.
Yeah. Okay.
Then
So we don't
when you've
connect,
created
we don't
a
import repositories right
repository,
now. We just create repositories and then keep those synced, right? We lost we lost
what
you.
you need to do is to just sync to it.
Victor, can you hear? Can you respond to that again? I couldn't hear you.
And the issue I'm having currently is
We lost you again, Victor.
Hmm. Let's see. Automation, audio, advanced settings, audio. Let's see. What if I remove this? Oh, okay, he's gone.
You removed him.
Omar, can you answer the question actually? Omar, I didn't kick him out. He left. Omar, can you? Uh, so we're talking just about. Uh huh. Okay.
Let's store users and their repositories.
Let's store users and their repos.
And the
Uh,
question also is that we're not importing the any repository from GitHub, right? We're just creating new repositories from the sandbox projects that we have.
all right. Hey, Victor, are you there?
oh yeah.
Okay. So we just wanted to get the basics straight. So the way that our first prototype is working is the repository is always created by Sandbox, right? It's not it's we're not importing existing repositories, right? Hello? Okay.
And he's gone again. But
Okay.
Omar has answered the question.
That's my understanding. I just wanted to establish that. Omar says that's correct.
Yeah.
Um, that's for a future day. So my question is just like, um, hey Victor.
Is seems offline.
Okay. So my question is more just, um, why don't we just take the GitHub repository ID
Mhm.
and put that in a column in the project table? Or am I missing something? Yeah, I guess we'll never know. So
Yeah, I mean, we can add another column into the user table and put the repository there.
yeah. So a question for Omar: why are we tracking users repos? Don't we just want to track projects? Uh, the projects for the repo for each project. I should look at the code. Might as well. Okay. I think I can look at. So I think I can pull it up, right?
Hmm.
Okay.
He says, "Do you mean the new table?"
Let's have a look at the schema. I think that'll be the best way. Should I look at Omar's GitHub or Victor's GitHub? Let's see.
Omar, Omar has he said that almost 95% of the APIs are done.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he has pushed it or not. Omar, did you push it?
Let me look. So let's see. I want Omar's. I see something. I see a branch called add GitHub sync, which is updated last week.
He said not the final. He has not pushed the final commit yet.
I'm looking for. I'd like to see the schema. I think it would be great if we could all look at the schema together.
Yes.
Let's see. So users to sandboxes relation, that was there already. User relation. Yeah. Um, Omar, do you have the schema of the repository? Would you like to? Hey, Victor, are you there? Um, Omar, do you have the schema? Because you could share your screen and we could all look at that. I
Yeah.
think that would be really helpful for me and Akhilesh who aren't really caught up on this. It says there's a new table called users repo, user ID and repo ID and repo name. Okay. Um, user ID and repo ID and repo name. Okay. So that's to store the names of the repositories. I think. Why do we need the name of the GitHub repository? Because the ID is unique, right?
Hmm.
Is that just so we can display the name of it somewhere? Or the URL?
No, we just need the name. I mean, I don't know if we need the name
Yeah.
because we can. I think the ID will be the important thing here.
Yeah, we don't need the name for this to work.
Yeah.
Anyways, maybe we should come back to this when Victor is here.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, what else do we have to talk about?
Yeah. So yesterday when I was testing it,
Hmm.
the profile the profile page was broken, but it
Yeah.
was just that we missed while we were merging the
Yeah.
backend code. We missed one commit, which
Right.
was Victor fixing the. I thought we did, but I think we missed it. We both missed it, but then I changed the schema. Now
Yeah.
you just have to do npm run generate and migrate runtime.
Yeah, I also thought I had that command. Okay. Um, yeah, I had some thoughts about the database as well this morning.
Okay.
Um, let's see. But it's more about just like local development and production development, like how we can make that easier.
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think if there's anything else really important for this meeting. As far as the bugs that we have right now uh, in the E2B persistence, um, we'll just go with those for now.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. I know E2B will release auto pause in the next couple of weeks, which will fix everything. If we have serious bugs, um, if it's actually like people are losing their work and it's bad, we could come up with something that like that periodically saves people's
Yeah,
stuff. We could come up with a hack for that.
yeah, we talked about this yesterday as well.
So that's where I'm at with that. But I'm pretty okay with that, with how it is.
Yeah, and
I'm
also,
mhm.
yeah, go on.
I'm gonna have Burhan working on the file manager.
Mm-hmm.
So for example, if dragging a file from one folder to a different folder isn't working, I'll first have him try to fix it, and then if he can't fix it, then
Yeah.
I'll
Okay.
work with him.
Okay. And also the alert dialog is also merged with the
Oh yeah,
main branch.
that's that's brilliant. So we'll see how often that that happens.
Yeah, I already tested it on production once,
Yeah.
and it is working properly. It shows after the timeout, so
How do you
it
test it though?
just leave the project open. I mean, that's how you do it normally.
But not in the foreground, right?
No, not in the foreground background. Yeah,
So if it's on your screen but you have another window in the foreground, it will time
yeah,
out.
yeah. It will time out, and then it will be. You cannot do anything unless you press on the refresh button.
Okay. Yeah. That's nice to have.
Yeah,
Um, yeah. Cool. And then the question is just, are all your files still there when you refresh? Hopefully.
yeah. That's the question is because we need to. I think I should add one more warning with the dialog box that save your files before. If you don't save your file, if you click on refresh, it will your files will be gone.
Really?
I mean, the progress will be gone if you're not saving it, obviously.
Oh, if you don't save your files,
Exactly.
um, if you don't command S, yeah, nothing is going to the sandbox. And
Okay,
you have,
Victor is asking if we want to have an auto save feature. I think, yeah, we should have that.
yeah, yeah, I'm in this weird place where I use Google Docs where I know you don't have to save, but I always hit Command S. I,
Same here.
same. So it's weird, but it's probably good to have autosave because if you
Yeah.
don't, it's better that it does save than it doesn't save.
Okay. So yeah. So let's. Okay. I'm gonna add it in the file. The autosave feature.
Okay. Yeah. Autosave. How should that work? I mean, does it just save?
Yeah. Whenever a change. I mean, we currently have the system where if there is an unsaved change, um, you see this circle on instead of the cross. So we can just
Okay.
yeah, we can just save it whenever active file content changes. We just get the save file function to work again. Call the save file function.
Sounds good. Maybe we can have like a flag so we can later on we can have it as a setting for people if they want to change it.
Yeah, I think we can already introduce a setting for that because we already have a profile page. So
Yeah.
the, putting a setting over there wouldn't
Yeah.
hurt that much.
Yeah, that would be good to have some like basic settings like that. Victor, can I just go back to the question I was trying to ask before? Um, you can hear us, right? I just removed him, but he's still in the chat. Otherwise, maybe we'll find another time to. Okay, okay, okay. Um, so the question is, why do we need the repository name at all? That's the question. Um, oh,
Yeah,
wait.
yeah, yeah.
Okay.
All right. My thought behind the repository name is we need to have a way to attach the repository to the sandbox itself, so
Hmm.
we know that this repository belongs to this particular sandbox.
Okay. Um, you mean to the project, right? Or
Because
to the
right now there's no way to know that, and you might
But Victor, you have the ID, right, of the repository. So if you store the repository ID, then it's attached.
Yeah, it's gone again.
Oh yeah. It's gone entirely. Okay. Yeah, we'll probably do this in the chat, in the group chat. Um, yeah. Okay. I mean, I'm happy to see that we're making progress on the GitHub stuff. Um, it seems like it's more than halfway there.
Yeah, the backend stuff is almost there. You just need to work with stuff.
Victor, unless your connection gets better, I think it's probably best to just use the chat because we're not even getting a full sentence before you drop off.
Yeah.
Okay. I just hide it. So yeah, let's have a separate discussion about the GitHub stuff.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think it's possible to do with just the repository ID, unless I'm missing something. Because you can, like, yeah, you do need the name to get the URL of the repository, but you don't. In order to do the basic stuff, just like, yeah, getting files and making changes to files, you don't need it entirely. You
Mm.
don't really, like, we can already do basic stuff without the name of the repository. And if you do need it, it's just one API call from,
Yeah. Yeah.
so yeah.
Well, the logic here that Omar has written is, so there is three APIs. So whenever the user clicks on GitHub login, it will call three APIs. The first one is for login. This will return a GitHub uh, the
Yeah,
OAuth token,
yeah,
which is basically, and then after second API that receives the token and then returns the username of user's GitHub username and then display it, and then the third API that will check if the sandbox or the project name exists as a repository in user's GitHub.
yeah. He said it to me too, and I said, I thought we're not doing it that way. Um, we don't want to check anything by name
Yeah, it's, with
because
ID.
with ID. So
Yeah,
as long as you mean ID, then we're good.
yeah, and then if it exists in the project name exists as a repo and uses GitHub, and if it exists in our database,
Yeah,
will check both, and then if both are true, then we'll create then the create repository button that we have will change to add new commit button,
yeah,
and then if it's in the just the database, then we will delete it from the database because maybe user has created the repository before and now they don't have it.
uh,
So,
yeah.
and then
Say
there
that
are,
part again. I was reading a message from Victor.
yeah, so if if it exists in the database but not in user's GitHub,
Yeah.
then we'll just delete it from our database and create a new one.
Yeah, or give the user the opportunity to create a new one, right?
Exactly, yeah. And then we'll delete, yeah. And then if it's just existing in GitHub, then the create repository button will stay as it is.
If the if the repository only exists in GitHub.
Yeah, that's what he GitHub and not from make create repo button. Yeah, so if it is just existing in the GitHub, also create repo button will still as it is. It's confusing what he has
So
written here.
yeah, I don't think it's possible for like basically we store the ID of the repository and
Hmm.
then that either exists in GitHub or not.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
If we have no ID, then there's nothing to check.
Exactly. Yeah.
So so yeah, and I think Victor has the right thing here. He says we have the repo ID when we create it. We do need to store it in the sandbox table. Yep,
For the sandbox. Oh, okay. Yeah.
it's not there in the schema now, right? No, it's not
It's
there.
not there.
Yeah, so that's really all that we need. Yeah. Okay. Well, we can do that. Cool. Um, I was thinking a little bit about the database migrations this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, what we want to have is basically two migration commands. One one migrates the production database, and the other one migrates your local database, right?
Hmm.
So ideally, we would have something like npm migrate. I think generate would be the same, but I think we would want to have migrate local and then migrate production.
Hmm.
So, uh, and if we do production, we do want that to get committed to the repo so that other people don't do the same migration again. But the local migration, of course, that should be ignored. Like that journal should not get committed because it's your local database. That's the way I'm thinking about it now. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
It's funny I could not get ChatGPT or Claude to me, and I couldn't I couldn't find like this on the internet, which seems like a very common thing. So I'll get back to you. I'm gonna try and find someone who does this regularly and
Okay.
get back get back to you on that when I'm certain. Cool. So yeah, um, let's just briefly go through what we're gonna do
Yeah.
this week. Um, Someone else go first.
Okay. Um. Okay. So let's just do this. Mm, let me pull up the document that we have.
Sure.
Okay. So in the document we have rewrite the priorities were rewrite the backend with E2B persistence.
Yep.
We are done with that. We had some AI chat issues, which were premature termination, grid red diffs. So diffs are already done. I'm just adding the buttons into the diffs, and
Nice.
then the merging system prompt. I have already updated it, but I need someone to test it properly. The the merging prompt. So far it seems that the every time I have tested it, so far it seems to be working properly. But
Okay.
still, let's see what when you tell Burhan to test the file system, just tell him
Yeah.
this also to test it. And then we had some deployment issues. I don't know if those are fixed.
I believe they're not because someone told me it's still broken yesterday.
Okay, okay, okay. And then so now in progress tasks were how to undo an migration. Um, I don't know enough now if we need it or not because we have, I mean, all the generations and everything. But I'll add it in the document that we have, the guide that I'm updating.
The which one?
The migration, the database, how to set up a database guide and
Okay.
how to do migrations and everything.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
then we have Control Z issue where I'm still working on that. I'm sorry it has taken a long time, but since I was working with green and red tips, it will be fixed this week. The Control Z issue, and then um, which one is this? Yeah, the deployment issue, which was we had to show the logs of deployment.
Oh yeah, that was a whole thing that we put off.
Yeah, but since the should we continue the work on that or just hold it off till we get onto the deployment thing?
Yeah, so that would be like not priority, but it would be like medium priority.
Okay,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, so one fire emoji, got it. And then we have yeah, um, and then validate usernames, but I think that is already fixed, right?
which one?
Validating the username.
Okay.
Victor was supposed to do it,
I
but
think it's
I'm not
okay.
sure.
Um, yeah, Victor let us know on that one. I would just leave it until he
Yeah, yeah,
replies.
yeah. Okay.
Okay, yeah. So as far as the E2B persistence is concerned, so that is working enough.
Yeah.
The next thing that I have to do is um, the next most important thing I have to do is authentication with Clerk on the back end
Hmm.
and fix deployments.
Okay.
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
For the
It's in the top priorities right now as well. So, okay. And
those are
then,
my things. Yeah.
yeah, we have a basic profile page. So I think we can uh, strike through that.
Hmm.
And then, yeah, we now can delete the project with heart. So we can strike out that. Yeah. And also, sure, do you want me to change, I mean, come up with a landing page for Sandbox?
Let's. Yeah, we really need to do that. Um, maybe we can discuss it tomorrow.
Okay,
Let's do that.
okay. And then figure out how to use. Yeah, GitHub stuff is still on the works. And then, yeah, I've also added the settings page, the auto save feature for the editor. So I've added it into the file in progress list.
Yeah,
And then empty folders doesn't appear in the file list. Is it still the case or is it
we'll
fixed?
put that to Burhan to test it.
Okay,
Hopefully, fix it. Yeah.
okay. And then, yeah, terminal and preview when they are on the bottom of the page, they overflow. It's fixed. It fixed now.
Yeah.
And then drag and drop file inside the file manager. We still need to test that properly. It is fixed, but let's test it properly with Burhan. And then, yeah, it's again that. Yeah, and then on sandbox timeout, force user to refresh the page. That is fixed. that has been added. So I'm gonna strike through that. Okay, and then yeah, so there we have written it like there should also be a timeout when the user is inactive for a while, even when the window remains open. Otherwise, we end up paying and paying. Yeah, it's the same thing. So
Oh yeah, we fixed this,
yeah,
right?
we fixed this. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then refactor file manager to not store file data.
Wait, actually, we haven't fixed that exactly. Um,
The timeout.
well, that's still. Um, if I open Sandbox and I put it and I leave it open on my computer and then I walk away for 12 hours, it'll just be open. So that's still an issue.
But now that we have the pause it to be persistent, it will be timed out, right? The like it will be paused.
Not if the window's open and active.
Oh yeah, that's true. Because we will keep receiving the hard bit.
Yeah. So that's still an issue. It's not a urgent issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep this open then.
Yeah.
Okay. Um, and then refactor file manager to not store file data. Is it fixed? I mean, refactor is done, right?
Yeah. Yeah. That got removed with Cloudflare.
Okay. And then yeah, and so this is basically related to deployment, right? Refactor the file manager to upload as a file directly to Doku and deploying instead of using Git.
Oh yeah. Um, I think that would be better.
Okay, so it's still in the works.
It's just that the way I implemented Doku, we're we're pushing a Git, we're pushing everything through Git to Doku. But it's actually possible to just make a zip file and send that to Doku. So I've never tried the second way, but I have
Okay,
it on my list of things to try. If
okay,
it may work better.
okay.
Yeah.
And then there's this issue when switching to light mode, the preview gets messed up.
Oh, yeah, it's really small, but in light mode, your preview is often dark.
Okay.
So that's a small UI issue.
Okay. And then using GPT predicted outputs for the apply button, yeah, that is fixed. That is we already use that.
Yeah.
And then for templates, integrate Omar's Laravel template. That is done.
Actually, it's not. I still need to do this.
Okay.
I was
Oh,
thinking today that it might be nice to have one repository with all of the templates.
okay.
Any thoughts on that?
One repository with all the templates.
Yeah, it was just an idea.
Yeah, I thought we have a different repository for
We
each
can make
template, right?
separate repositories.
Yeah. I think
Easier.
yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, I think that would
And
be.
also, we have this issue still. I messaged you about it to today morning that we cannot create any other project than React.
Right. I'll put that on my list, but it's literally just one command I have to run. So
Okay. Okay. And then Python template should always open new shells in the virtual environment so users can install packages there.
oh, this is yeah, this is a Python issue. Mhm.
Okay. And then
That's basically we want to integrate virtual environments into our.
yeah.
That should be that should be doable.
And then templates for programming language without live preview. Yeah, we are working on that. And do we yeah, and someone created a PR with an empty project template. Do we want that?
Yeah. Yeah, we do.
Okay, then I'll add it to my list. And then sharing is disabled, so I'm not gonna get into that right now.
No, that's fine.
And then backend, add type safety to the WebSockets API.
Yeah, that's like a future dream.
Okay, and
Like
then
basically, just to describe it in one sentence, if um, you're calling a WebSocket event, like you can put in anything. You can literally put in anything in the parameters, and the editor won't correct you. It won't tell you.
oh,
See what I'm saying? Like if I want to save file, if I'm calling like save file on the back end, it's supposed to have like file name and file contents.
yeah.
But if I don't put in the file name, then like in the code, then there won't be any warning. So
Oh, okay.
because it's like two separate repositories,
Mm-hmm.
so that's something to do
Okay,
sometime in the future.
and then we have allo template files to be deleted from a project.
Which one?
Allow template files to be deleted from a project.
Mm, the E2B template files. What?
It's just written like that. I think you edited.
What does it say?
Allow template files to be deleted from a
Allow
project.
template files to be deleted from the project. Um, allow template files. Oh yeah. That's fixed with persistence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was a Cloudflare file store,
Okay.
I think.
And then refactor, make server a class that sandbox refers back to.
What?
Make server a class that sandbox refers back to.
Yeah, you can remove that. That was something to do with refactoring that I must have done.
Okay. And then we
Yeah,
have a
yeah.
we have a run button. So in that each sandbox has a toml file that contains a run command and also a template, etc.
Yeah. So the idea is to factor out anything that is in the code base that's specific to a certain programming language or template, and then to move that into the template itself, right?
Oh yes, yes, yeah.
Yeah. And
Okay.
that should still be done because we don't want to be hard coding all those commands. Yeah.
Yeah, we are currently hard coding for every template
Yeah,
for
it's
the
not
run.
great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then DevOps backend server is now deployed manually. There is no CI/CD,
Uh-huh.
and
Yeah.
then
Uh-huh.
there are some stuff about Cloudflare workers, but now it's not relevant. So
Yeah, and I think that the SST is the first thing to look into for the DevOps. So
okay, I'll add that.
that's definitely a fun one to do.
And then for deployments, adding custom subdomains based on project names, editing the project ID.
Right. Yeah, we that's definitely on the list. Definitely.
Yeah. And we also need a way to add environment variables to let people deploy real apps.
Yeah, secrets.
And then dashboard where users can see all deployments, remove deployments, add custom subdomains and domains. I think, yeah,
Right.
all of this will be the features of that dashboard. And then there is some stuff about deployment status.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you need to add that, but once everything is fixed, and then yeah, we don't need workers now. We have written already there, and then add post hog analytics.
Yeah, that's definitely on the list. It could be post-hog or it could be anything that lets us know how long and how much people are using the platform.
Okay, and then there is Cloudflare workers sometimes return undefined. So yeah, that is fixed.
Yeah.
And then when a new project is created, if it fails, it returns an error page instead of a JSON error.
I think that's possibly still an issue.
Yeah, and then a more obvious way to report bugs when opening the for app first time, there should be a pop-up prompting the users to join Discord. Yeah. I need to do
Oh
that.
yeah.
And then URLs, Replic's way. I mean, we already have username URLs properly with the @ tag and everything. We just need to figure out the project project URLs. And then usernames, unique username for each user if they change it. Yeah, that is already there. Yeah, I think yeah, that was all.
That's all.
Yeah,
Just it was just that. Yeah.
it was just that. Yeah,
That's all. That's all,
that's
guys.
that's all. That's all. Not
Yeah.
too much.
It's like one or two all nighters. And then we're done. So, good. So I just wrote in the chat what I'm gonna do.
Mm-hmm.
Um, first thing is probably authentication. Um, fix, maybe fixing deployments might be first, but those two. Oh
Okay.
yeah, and getting all the templates going.
Yeah. Okay. I'll also write what I'm gonna do for this week. And yeah, let's uh, let's catch up sometimes later this week.
Yeah, let's definitely sync later this week about the GitHub stuff.
Yeah.
We should probably before we like make big changes, we should probably all agree on the schema first because
Yeah. Yeah.
just easy to.
Yeah. We also need to have a meeting, all of us together again, because for in order to integrate everything from GitHub integration to with the new backend, we need to be on the same page. So with the APIs and stuff, because there are a lot of things in the backend for GitHub integration that Victor and Omar has already done, but in order to sync that with the front end, we need to have a meeting to discuss that.
Well, you mean because of the changes we made yesterday?
N- no, not only that, but
Oh,
in general, because how
okay.
the front end will react. Because I noticed that
Yeah,
there are some changes and certain UI elements that we need to agree on. So
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah. I think it can be simpler.
yeah, yeah.
Cool.
Okay, so let's all meet later this week. We'll discuss the timings and the group. So
Yeah, I mean the most important thing is just that we fix the schema, right?
yeah, yeah. First,
So
scheme updates.
if we can do that offline, then great. But if we need to have a call, then
Yeah, yeah.
let's do it. Okay.
Okay, okay.
All right. Great.
Uh, this was great.